So this guy Clarence reached out to me about sponsoring a video for his new jiu-jitsu gym software. I said, cool, but we need to do an interesting video. How about I fly out to your guys and challenge your whole gym to a showdown? And he said, cool, when do you want to get beat up? And then I injured my bicep, so I said, sorry Clarence, trip's canceled, can't do it. Just kidding, I said, it's cool, I only need one arm. So here's what we're doing. 3-minute matches with one grappler from every belt level, white to black. If I get the submission, I get extra rest. If they submit me, we keep going. That includes Clarence himself, the gym owner who started this place as a blue belt and just opened his second academy. And then there's Emra. Clarence has been telling me stories about this black belt for weeks.
I'm an addict. I'm addicted. I have problems.
28 years of grappling experience. World-class competitor. This is either going to be epic or I'm about to get humbled on camera for a very stupid idea. First up, Zach. White belt, 7 months in, trains twice a week, and started because it looked interesting and the gym was close by. Fair enough, Zach. Let's see what 7 months gets you against a one-armed maniac.
Hey, Zach, just get up. Fight him, Zach. Gotta take him down. Just get up, Zach. Oh no.
Name's Jonathan Andrews. Been doing jiu-jitsu for a couple of years over the last couple of more years. Got into jiu-jitsu because I wanted something to defend myself that actually worked.
Kimura, his bad arm, John. Just kidding. He's too late.
It's tough to keep people down with one arm, though.
Hi, my name is Joel.
So how long you been training?
I've been training for 2 years now. This is just started my third.
Wow, and you just got your purple belt?
I just got my purple belt.
How often you been training?
As often as I can.
How often is that?
Like usually 5 days a week.
Nice.
And then twice a day when I can.
Awesome. Hell yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Why'd you get into jiu-jitsu?
I actually got into Muay Thai first,
Uh-huh.
and then I just wanted to not be a chicken. You know, chicken legs and you know, scared of the bigger guy walking down the street. And then a couple years later, I found jiu-jitsu and just liked the grappling aspect more and not getting kicked and punched in the face as much. So as much, you know, it still happens, but it's not so bad. And I don't go home with concussions. So,
Awesome, man.
yeah, that's it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Clarence, this is your gym. How long have you been training?
I've been training about 7 years, a little less.
How often about?
Six days a week.
Nice.
Sometimes once, twice a day.
Nice. And you've been using an ecological approach.
Roughly.
Yeah.
You know, as much as
You
I can.
have. You have. He's been reading a lot of Rob Gray.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Great. And how do you get into jiu-jitsu?
One of my friends, he kind of like told me that I couldn't strangle him, and I thought I could. And then I went to the gym and tried, and I couldn't.
Awesome.
And I've been doing it ever since.
Yeah. I got too comfortable.
I like Emra and Mike. As commentator.
Going for round 2 here. Oh, he picked up the leg. Looking for the back there. Looking for a back take. Looking for the back or the leg. Must be hard fighting a one-armed man. Evidently, the stand-up is challenging. Against the guard pull. Trying to play some inverted de la Hiva. Now to the half. Got a nice deep collar lapel grip. Brent's trying to pass on top, floating. It's hard with one arm because you can't grab the legs and you can't post. Looking like a potential honey hole entry here. got a deep lapel grip. That's trouble. Dun dun dun. Oh no. Are the grips good enough? Are the grips good enough? Let's find out. Nope, the grips were not good enough. Maybe he'll try again. Let's see. Again, must be easy strangling a one-arm band. It's the left arm. It's going to be on your right. So it's been the same arm. Yeah. Some folks on the side said that Brent is switching arms, but I haven't seen him switch arms. It's always lower belts. It's a bunch of lemur-looking white belts. There's a white belt over here that looks like a lemur. And he has a lot to say about jiu-jitsu, apparently. No, it wasn't the white belt. It was a blue belt. People are saying the white belt looks like a lemur. Looking like a guard pass over here. All right, that's time.
Next is Emra, and those stories Clarence told me, I'm starting to think he wasn't exaggerating. This guy looks as confident as a cat who's been challenged by a one-armed mouse. All right, what's your advice against Emra?
Hell yeah. Let's hear it.
I can't think of anything. Just tap
Why
early.
not, dude?
Don't stop moving. I mean, it's over moving too, but this is a much quicker
I
death.
guess
I have respect for people that fight back.
actionable advice. If you think he's doing a omoplata, he's probably doing a omoplata.
So how long you been training?
Almost 18 years.
Wow.
Just jiu-jitsu. Before that, I did judo for about 10 years and some other martial arts, embarrassing ones like taekwondo.
And how often have you been training over that time?
Jiu-jitsu specifically, like 6 days a week, twice a day, pretty much the whole time. I'm an addict. I'm addicted. I have problems. I have problems. When it gets in you, and you can't get it out.
Why'd you start?
Got bored lifting weights, and I wanted an excuse to wear colorful tights because I look really good. Colorful tights.
The need for masculinity goes out the window.
I don't like socks.
Welcome to Rutland, Brent.
Use your other arm, Bren. You're gonna need it.
I want to.
Oh, I wonder what he's gonna do.
It's coming. It's a really good effort, man. Really good try.
I think you're allowed to get the other arm if you're doing a double cheeseburger.
All right, this is a move that we invented. We call this the double cheeseburger or the Rutland special.
That's on the up.
There we go.
Almost.
Almost.
Hey, he's practically local now.
Don't go to sleep, Bren. I know it's tempting.
Let's go towards the lake.
Is that like a
It would have been a nice nap, though.
not the iron temple? Because that's just stretching his lungs so badly that he's just having trouble breathing.
That was just a momentary.
But was it like as he was breathing together, constricted?
It was like it's a blood choke.
Pure blood.
So strong.
Wow, the standing omoplata.
Is it a flying triangle if you fly into it?
Who would have guessed?
Who knew how good he would be at stripper pole aerobics? Like, holy shit!
Well, how do you think he got so good?
Now I know.
You should see him when you give him a 20.
Does anybody have any singles?
It has to be $1.
$2 bills or nothing. $2 bills or nothing, dude. It's classy.
There's a reason that we don't have any strip clubs in Rutland.
That's right. People kept throwing nickels.
Not another omoplata.
Now you know how we
I
feel.
feel you, Brian. I feel you, right now, bud.
We've all been there.
bookending it with the double cheeseburger.
The whole thing was that he pretended like he wanted omoplatas, but really he just wanted collar strangles.
Okay. That's, see, this
13 seconds, you could do one more. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Soccer overtime.
All right, how'd you get me with 4 Rutland specials in a row?
So the Rutland Special is a move we invented here because, well, I wouldn't say invented. Is anything in jiu-jitsu ever really invented, despite what many people selling books and DVDs will claim? I don't know. Let's pretend we invented it. I usually start with a collar and sleeve grip. Pull the collar, cross grip on the collar, straight grip on the sleeve, right, just to open the elbow. Then I set up a normal omoplata, right, but sometimes I get here, and then like I'm struggling to break the grip of the hand, right? But I can sit to the side, yeah, this hand right here. Like people are grabbing their gi or something, right? And I can get the, see where your hand is right here? But it's not enough to like get up, right? But I have a good grip and I'm preventing you from rolling, right? This is the position where I start setting up the Rutland Special, or the double D's burger as we call it. I've already got one shoulder. Normally if I get here and the hand is free, and I can't finish the omoplata, I go for a wrist lock on this arm that I'm omoplataing already, right? Or like a cheeky armbar. But if they're hiding it like this and I get stuck here, oftentimes I'll just gable grip my arm and they'll start fighting to bring this elbow back like this. And then when I get here, right, if they're not grabbing, I can start pulling this hand in, and then I'll place the hand on my chest right here, and I'll pull it in for basically a double wrist lock, double omoplata, Rutland Special double D's burger. And that's why we call it the double D's burger.
What if you could get your leg around the other arm?
There's also a variation that I do sometimes with my leg here, right? Just like this. Makes it hard for people to roll. Very entertaining and fun, you know? So that's the Rutland Special.
What task can we use to develop it?
Work on your omoplata setups. The thing that leads into it is you got to make sure my eye patch doesn't move. If you're going for the omoplata and the person is grabbing, right, like they're grabbing on the corner, that's when you want to start looking for that other arm. If you can stop them from rolling and you can get to the omoplata, perfect. So the games you want to play, get to the omoplata, lapel collar, right, shooting your leg through, getting it past the elbow, and then your leg up and over, right? Just getting to that position. Then the second thing you may want to work on is when you get here, right? Preventing them from rolling. So like getting deeper into the game so that if this happens, right, you lost, but by grabbing or something, right, preventing the roll, now I'm getting into the situation where I can set it up, right? And then the final step to start setting it up is making sure that you can get up, reach over, and start pulling that elbow back, peeling that back. Once you get them here with this hand up, you're good. From here, it's very easy to start, doing whatever you want. This is my favorite finish. You can also just do, like a traditional hammer lock style shoulder lock here as well. It might not be one specific finish. Sometimes people fight and I can't get that wrist lock. So then I got to go for one of the shoulder locks or a straight arm bar or something like that.
I'm usually able to posture out of that.
Uh-huh.
And when I try omoplatas, I have a hard time breaking people's posture. I felt like you were really good at that. Even when I stood up, you followed me really well.
For sure.
Do you have any advice for that?
When you're here and you start standing up, the posture up, I'm following you with my feet and my hips, right? The way I think about it, and this is maybe gonna have to be bleeped out, but I try to put my dick in your mouth, right? So if I try to put my dick in your mouth, I know my hips are gonna be high enough that like, even if you try to posture out of it, right? You're trying to pick up my hips. Does that make sense? If my hips are down, the weight of my hips is on the ground, you're not picking that up so you can posture out. But if I try to put my dick in your mouth, right now, you're picking up my hips and my torso.
To get your weight off the floor, get in on me.
That's right. Make the person hold up your weight. Like Craig Jones says, let's make jiu-jitsu really gay.
Clarence, you started a gym as a blue belt.
So I got my blue belt, and then 6 months later we moved to Vermont, and we were practicing. Me and my wife also trains, and we were practicing together in the house. Bought some mats, looking for a gym, and there was nothing really like within an hour and a half from us. And talked about it with our coach from Miami, and he basically gave us his blessing and said, encouraged us to open our own place.
And so how'd it go?
I mean, it was very slow at first. So lots of days where we opened up and there was nobody on the mat except us. But eventually, you do things for the right reason and things end up working out. Over like the first year and a half, we had a big group of people that trained with us. And we got to like 20 people that were coming in regularly. And eventually the space was too small. We had to get a new space.
How do you get those first couple people?
Reddit. We had made a post on Reddit asking if people were interested or if anybody would support us. And we actually found a couple people that were pretty passionate about training that lived close by. They had nice things to say, made us feel a little bit better about it. And eventually, when we finally found the spot, we went back and like replied to each of the comments like, hey, please come. We're opening this place here. A bunch of them ended up showing up.
How'd it go from there? So you put did you put a schedule up? You built a website or?
I mean, we built a website. We put a sign on the street. And really, most of the people that came through were like walking traffic. There was a 24-hour fitness in front, like right next to our place, and a climbing gym also pretty close by. And a few people from there came through. We were driving around and we happened to find like a little room that they were renting, and like we couldn't say no to that.
That was the garage.
Well, it was like
$250 a month.
Exactly. It was upstairs and it was about $250 a month, like all out the door, no, including electricity and everything. And it was pretty funny actually. We used to get there's an army recruiting place downstairs, and they would say that when we were doing our like break falls and we were sparring in there, that the paintings on the wall they like get there in the morning and have to like put the paintings all back on the wall and the things back on the desks.
What was the biggest mistake you made starting a gym?
I mean, you make all kinds of mistakes. I think at the beginning, it's rolling too hard with people that didn't know what they were doing probably is the biggest thing. Like, I think most people probably have the same issue of like retention, bring a bunch of new white belts, and for some reason, every 6 months, the whole entire crew is different except maybe like 3 or 4 people that stuck around.
What would you do differently if you were starting from scratch again?
I think when we first started, we were very reliant on cash, like paper and pencil for like keeping our attendance, and not really doing a great job of like absorbing people's information or like having a list of phone numbers or having a list of emails. And we probably had like 200-300 people come through before we actually started doing that. And most of those people haven't come back. Sometimes maybe if you give them a call or you send them an email, you can convince them to come back at least to try it again.
Is that why you built Subbase?
That's one of the reasons. But I mean, I also think that keeping your curriculum organized is very important. And that's the first step, like that was the first reason that we built Subbase. One of the things we haven't talked about is that like, how long did it take us to make money in the gym? Like basically till last year. So it's almost 5 years is how long it took us to actually like make it make sense as a business and not so much as just like a hobby or like a passion project.
What does that mean to you to make money? Because like, I imagine you were like, compared to the $250 a month rent, like you were breaking past that pretty early. But
I mean, back then we were charging very little. A lot of people were paying $50 a month, $80 a month. So even if we had like 8 people there, it wasn't necessarily paying that plus like the expenses that we had. At the beginning, it's a big investment too. Like even the small room, like buying the mats and all that kind of stuff, it took us a long time to pay it back. Mm-hmm. So what I see by making money is basically like paying the bills, not having a problem, like keeping the gym going, and then on top of it, paying my own bills at the house.
I want to kind of dig into a little bit, like, how do you get so many things done?
I think you just got to pick stuff that you like. And if you pick things that you like, you'll make time for them. Like I was working in software and I wasn't really super happy with it, but I felt like there was things in software that I was really passionate about. And there's like ways to make software that I thought was really cool, like video games, for example. And if you like something, you make time for it. And as I was learning to make video games, I didn't have any time. I was training, I was doing stuff with my family in the morning, I was going to work all day. And at some point I realized like if I really want to like dig down and learn how to develop video games, I have to like give something up. Like what can I give up? And what I ended up picking was sleep. So for like a 6 to 8 month period, I like completely cut out sleep for 3 days a week, which is not smart. Don't get me wrong. I figured it out pretty quickly that it wasn't a great idea. But like literally I would get home from work, I would go train, then I would get back home, take a shower, eat dinner, and then sit at the computer from like 9 p.m. to like 6 a.m. And then at 6 a.m., I would take a shower, I would eat breakfast, and I would go to work. And like, I wasn't doing it every day, don't get me wrong, but I was doing it like 2 or 3 days a week, every week. And just like,
wild.
basically like doing like college level courses, like just digging in. I just didn't have 8, 10 hours a week to dedicate to it. So I had to find them somewhere. I can't remember where it was. Like some podcast, I listened to someone say like, "Oh, you only need to sleep 2 hours a night." Like I don't know. They probably were not right, and it wasn't good for my health. Like trust me. Like the second day of the week that I did it, I was like hallucinating, and everything was like my vision was foggy, and like I would hear voices in my head and stuff like that. Just like the guy like teaching the class would be like whispering in my ear. But I'll tell you what, it worked. It like definitely worked.
The world I come from with like movement and dance, that's the advice a lot of people give. I hear it all the time is like, just do the things you love and like you'll never work a day in your life, and you'll like all that stuff. 12 years in, I've got my skepticisms. But also, again, another thing that I think you did really well, because you had your software job. The gym didn't need to pay your bills. And because of that, like you were set financially, right?
Yeah, the only reason, exactly, the only reason that gym stuck around for so long and eventually got to the point that it needs to get to was because of that, exactly. That I had everything already taken care of. Like the gym didn't need to make money.
And that allowed you to have like the patience to like sit with it again, like you said, for 5 years until it's like actually paying the bills, as opposed to like sometimes, man, like if you're just starting and you need it to make money because like that's the only thing you've got because you only do what you're passionate about, like that's super stressful. And I think for so many people, whether you're a movement teacher or a dance teacher or climbing or jiu-jitsu, like you get into it for the passion of the thing and maybe for the passion of teaching the thing. But usually most people are not like, they don't also have an MBA, right? It's a totally different thing to be a teacher and to be a gym owner and a business owner, right?
100%. I think it helped also that I like the software job that I did is very like consulting oriented, and we really had to like, I don't know exactly how many projects, but it's definitely in the hundreds that I've been a part of. And it's really interesting to dig into like the business side of 100, 200 different companies and see how things are run and what's important and all that kind of stuff. And that kind of thing definitely helped out a lot on my side.
There's something that Rafe Kelly said. He's a parkour teacher. The gist of it was do whatever you can deal with that makes the most money for the time you put into it. Yeah. And then you can have your passions on the side. And then as that starts to take off, then you can leave once you're stable and set.
I think that's exactly what we ended up doing by mistake. No, but I think for sure, you open a gym up and you're paying rent and you like have all these mats you have to buy and people smell the desperation on you. And like, especially in my case, if I needed to make money when it first opened, like we wouldn't have lasted very long. And I would have like gotten some 9-to-5 job somewhere else if I needed to. It's just like a blessed situation moving to Vermont and being able to work remotely.
So if someone wanted to start a gym, what advice would you give them?
Probably exactly what we just said. Don't put all your eggs in one basket right away, unless you have something that you're selling that's like undeniably a really good product, or you're opening a gym with a famous person or something like that, like someone that people would travel to train with. Because it felt like to me, like the product that we were selling took a really long time to get good. Even just myself as like a blue belt, like brand, like kind of a brand new coach that never really coached anything except maybe soccer before. It felt really difficult to like get in front of people and like just feel confident to teach them things or even know what I'm supposed to teach them or know what I'm looking at. Open a room where you want to roll, and then slowly you're going to build yourself up to the person that other people want to train with. I had to work a lot more on like the coaching side of it and trying to be the guy that learns things that are not just for me. It's more like learning things for the room, or like this guy asked this question, so now I have to be like, I don't really know, but I'll come back with an answer soon. And like go out and do research on that kind of stuff. It feels good to be a coach and not necessarily just like a really good athlete, because I don't think I am a very good athlete. My biggest strength is not my jiu-jitsu. It's my ability to help the room become better at their own jiu-jitsu and not like give them what I want, but more give them what they need.
How did the ecological approach tie into this?
I wasn't the best at jiu-jitsu when I first started. I was like a blue belt that was kind of struggling, and like my game has always been to pull side control and like do funky, cheeky shit from the bottom. As I was digging in, like trying to figure out how to coach and finding different things that people were doing that were having success with, I found Rob Gray and the ecological approach, like as we call it. And it sort of just helped me to disconnect from the whole thing and to try to get people better at grappling, to try to like coach from a different perspective and not so much like And I know what people talk about like traditional and ecological, and I think both of them are more similar than we give them credit for. I think these days we pretty much do things ecologically. Like every once in a while we sit there and talk a lot, but like for the most part, we try not to let too many words get in the way of learning. If you go in there with a good intention and you help people to pay attention to what they should be paying attention to, you're already halfway there, I think.
Why should you move to a small town and open a gym as a blue belt?
It's fucking awesome, dude. It was great. But have yourself a remote job before you do it, for sure. And like, honestly, I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't forced on me. I'm lucky that it was forced on me and that now I found that I really like not just having a gym, but coaching as well. Not everybody loves coaching. So I'm very fortunate that this happened to me because otherwise I probably would have never opened the gym. I probably would have stayed in Miami and trained until I got my black belt and like just been the normal, like casual black belt that didn't compete or anything like that. So it's pretty awesome. And I guess that could be one of the reasons is like you can find something that you love that you don't know that you're going to love. And you can, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I might get emotional talking about it. I hope I don't. Starting a community in a place that didn't have something before has been really real for us. Like just the fact that like basically the town that we live in, like they had like one, I don't want to say too many bad things about it, but one like not so great martial arts studio that was like known for doing not so great stuff and being not so great to their students, and just giving people a room and an opportunity to build a community where we can train for the right reasons and do fun stuff and really get good at martial arts. And whether it's like boxing or kickboxing or jiu-jitsu or whatever it is, like it's really cool to build something and to like have people really appreciate it and want to be a part of it.
I really hope people listening, watching will check you guys out and like come train with you. The 2 locations now, Rutland and Middlebury.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And
We've got Killington Mountain right down the road. In the winter is an amazing place to snowboard. In the summer, it's an amazing place to mountain bike. They have like some of the steepest trails on this side of the country. Definitely, it would be awesome for anybody to come through and train with us. We love guests. We love visitors. There's places nearby that you can stay. There's places that you can hang out. You can chill with our guys. You can come and train with us. We're ready for you guys to come. If you just started a jiu-jitsu school or you're planning to start a jiu-jitsu school, Subbase is an all-in-one solution that'll help you keep your curriculum and your billing organized. I have been running my school for 5.5 years, and it's been helping us take things to the next level. It's allowed us to open a second academy with no headaches. We're a small and lean startup, and the software is free. If you have 0 students, it costs $0, and we charge a very small percentage fee in order to keep the lights on our side. We're here to help you guys out.
Seriously, guys, go check out Subbase. Just go to subbasejj.com, click Contact Us, and Clarence will reach out to you personally to help you get started. These guys built something special here. Software by jiu-jitsu school owners for jiu-jitsu school owners. And they've already got a ton of awesome features. Plus, they were incredible hosts and super kind people. And in this day and age, we need more of that. If you want to learn more about the science that makes starting an incredible gym like this possible, check out my documentary here. And subscribe.